Hello and welcome to VRML Channel 2. I'm SputnikKobra with Alocoste on camera. And we're just having a little bit of difficulty getting in this lobby. I know we're a little bit behind schedule. So we're going to figure that out. And we'll get right back to you. Hello and welcome back. So we just about have both teams in. This is going to be a matchup between Ronins and exarea. So Ronins will be in blue. Exarea will be in orange. And I wonder who's heavily favored for this match today. Flavored. Definitely not flavored. And Legend saying, can we 3v3? Apparently they're missing a player. Let me ask Alocoste. Alocoste, you might have to do some moderating right now.
Yeah, wait. If they can play suites as a gentleman agreements, there is no issue about it. I will tell them.
So Alocoste will send you a message right now.
I activate my microphone. They hear me. Sorry, buddy.
Oh, they hear you. All right.
Yeah.
So feel free to say that one more time as the official moderating.
Yeah. So it's. I mean, they could play 3v4, but if they want to be gentlemen, they can go 3v3. It's up to the team. It's a call. So if Ronins want to play 2v3, it's tied to them, as they can.
So Legend saying that they will 3v3. Although they have the ability to 3v4 if they so choose to do that. So we're going to see some old school 3v3 gameplay right now. So this is going to be a throwback. So I'm wondering if they're going to swap in a player between the rounds, the one sitting out. I don't know. I haven't seen a 3v3 in VRML in a long time. We definitely haven't casted a 3v3 in a long time. So I'm actually excited for this. And Alocoste saying legend, be saying, just send the 4th player and spectate, please. If there, yes, ESL was a 3v3 format a long time ago. It was a much slower game with 2 boosting stacks, because you primarily with the 3v3 you had one player that, you know, was left out of the stacks, and they tended to be on defense. So it was a much slower game. But with that being said, this will be exarea versus Ronins. This will be a 3v3. So this is a throwback match to the old format. Albeit, I think instead of 5 minutes on the clock per round, it's going to be 10 minutes running clock. So with that being said, joust is underway. It will be won by Ronin, knocking it down towards the bubble of exarea. Spathia will pick it up, sending it down towards mid. Will be picked up by Ragnar Lothbrok. So I'm going to check out that goalie. So they really are playing this more so to the old 3v3 format. They're having their goalie just sit in the bubble. And working their way up into the bubble will be Ronins. And Ronins will put 2 on the board. So that's roughly 30 seconds off the clock. And Fathom saying 3v3 games were cool to watch, but 4v4 is better. 4v4 is better by a huge margin. It's better to play in. It's more strategically deep. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's a much better game. It changed the whole face of this game. 3v3 really, you know, people had a lot of resistance to changing the 4v4, and JBL will take it in at 4 meters. So there was initially a lot of resistance to 4v4, and that was something that was pioneered with the Pizza League. Pizza League Season 1 would be 3v3 with the existing teams, like the top 5 teams in NA. And then Pizza League Season 2 was 4v4, like the introduction of 4v4. And it had mixed up teams, like they were all named after pizza ingredients. So it would be like a mixture of a bunch of players from different teams, and it was supposed to be like MMR adjusted. I played in both seasons, and 4v4 was just so much better. And it was the best change that this game ever made. And that shot from Ragnar Lothbrok. So 6 points on the board already to Ronins. So you know, a lot of these players, I know Ragnar Lothbrok has been around for a while. I don't know about the Legend or JBL. I think Ragnar might have been around during 3v3. But for 3v3, you really got to have your passes on point. I mean, it's a lot more forgiving, because without that extra player, your ability to move up and down the court is, you know, not as quickly. So we'll be picked up along the wall by Cameron. Cameron has a player at Nest. He's going to lose it to the Legend. So the Legend now with possession. They've got this 6-point lead on Ronins, and that clear will go through. That stack will follow it up. Trying to find it at the wall will be one of the players, but Ragnar will find it along Pac-Man. Going off that backboard, it's going to be wide, bouncing out of the bubble. And yeah, 6 Fathom saying, yeah, the game feels a lot slower. It's going to be much slower. You know, at one time, the designers of this game, the developers, I don't know if it was like the gameplay designer or the devs themselves. I don't know what distinction it was. And that anchor shot, that inverted anchor shot off the Nest is going to be good at 9 meters. So that's it's another 3 points. It's 9 points on the board for Ronins. So they originally had designed the game around the idea of there being 5 players on each team. That's why they were like 5 tubes. And they quickly came to realize that in the early days of the game, there is no way that they could get those 5 players, because like, you know, the population of the game was much smaller than it is now. So finding 5 players to play on a team was hard. Plus, people weren't as coordinated, so you had a lot of just like clearing and throwing it down and a lot of brawling. And Ragnar with that dunk, just putting it up, taking it down, and putting it right up into the goal at a meter below it. 11 versus 11 arena match. Now that would be like chess. That would be like chess. I feel like nothing would happen. It would just be, you know, I don't know, because everyone said with 4v4, like 4v4 wasn't going to be good. You know, blah, 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 blah. But it ended up being fantastic. You know, people wanted to play 4v4s early on in the game. Like, competitive players would want, like, I used to, well, JBL's gonna take that in for 2 meters, but I used to kind of, like, shrug my shoulders and say, like, no to the idea of a 4v4. This is maybe 2018. And competitive players, you know, because there wasn't the competitive format, and everyone used to say that 4v4 was too cluttered. So there was a lot of resistance to playing it. People would play 4v4s as for fun because no one saw the competitive merit in that game mode or that game format of 4v4. And then Pizza League came by, and you know, people developed strategies, and that shot from the Legend's going to be off target, bouncing off the backboard. But people would, you know, not develop the strategies, and the Legend will get it behind that backboard, get it behind the goal, and slightly behind the backboard, actually. So at 4 meters, he'll take that in. And so with that 4v4 introduction at Pizza League, people started taking it seriously. Then people started developing strategies around it. In NA, one of the teams that had a lot of success with the initial 4v4 format was definitely Synapse. Synapse was able to utilize positioning and movement. And trying to go off the backboard, not finding it, it's going to be a loose disc behind the goal, slapped out by Cameron. Then it's going to be picked up by the Legend. He's going to take it out of the bubble. He's going to send it back. As you can see that backline player playing from Bowtie. That save from plug-in player will shut down that shot. But you can see how they're really resorting to the old 3v3. I mean, holding from bubble, Ragnar will take it. Holding out of the bubble for the backline player from Bowtie is still pretty much, you know, it's pretty much standard. So back in 3v3, you try and get all three on a stack and get back for defensive positioning. Now you have 2 boosting stacks. So it's much different. And that clear's going to go through the tube. It's going to bounce off the Geo at the back line. Will be Ragnar to pick it up. And 4v4s are a lot better just due to the extra player for comms and passes and such. I mean, it's just so much deeper of a game with that extra player. And JBL isn't taking it at 7 meters, so they're approaching this Mercy in the first round. Exarea, you know, they didn't have their 4th player. They're playing a man down, and Ronins agreed to play 3v3. You know, they're good sports. You know, 4v3, they have the ability, and, you know, it's technically legal by league rules, but a 4v3 is just, I don't think they needed it, and they're showing that they didn't need this 4v3. So Ragnar Lothbrok with possession. He's got 2 defenders in front, and that clear's going to go through the tube, and that stack is there to meet it. So they will pick it up along the trap. The Legend now with possession, and they got this 2-to-1 advantage in the bubble, going for the stun and getting that 3 points. So that's going to be the end of the first round. You know, the goalie could have maybe, you know, got his head in that position and deflected that, but I think at 22 points, you know, they're just playing it because they don't want to give up the forfeit, and they're there to play. And let me see if I can ban this thing. But we will have another game after this. It will be, let me check the schedule. It will be Dolphins versus Jinx. And then after that, we will have Elusive versus Shock. And that will fill up the EU block for today. So looking at these stats, we've got the Legend with 10 points, 2 assists, 1 steal, 2 stuns. Ragnar Lothbrok with 6 points, 4 assists. JBL with 6 points himself and 3 assists. Plug-in player on exarea will find 1 save from the lower pocket. Cameron Boss will find 1 save as well. I think behind the goal, he'll get that slap out. And then as well as 1 steal to Cameron Boss. And 1 stun to Spathia. So it is now the second round in exarea versus Ronin. We're at the neutral joust. It will be won by the Legend of Ronins. They'll get a little bit of duck. Now there are 2 players from exarea caught back. They're trying to get their stack together. They probably won't get in the bubble, but that save, Plugin will shut down that attempt. Plugin will get, Spathia will actually pick it up in the bubble, get the clear. So a great stop from plug-in. That might be off the backboard. Oh, and they don't get to it in time, but it will ding off the back of that crossbar at the bottom pocket. So I know that Ronins would have, no, yeah, excuse me, exarea would have loved those 3 points off that long clear from Bubble. And there used to be a lot more long goals in 3v3, like random bounces. That shot will come through from Ronins and will bounce off the top of that crossbar. But there used to be a lot more, you know, random, long, ridiculous threes in 3v3. You didn't have that extra boosting stack to get back on time. You couldn't cover the court as much. So in the bubble will be Ronins, and Ronins is going to find the 2 points. JBL taken to the top pocket. Plugin won't be able to find the save that time. And can Echo Arena help you with your world geography exam? You know, you might as well ask questions in this chat because I will answer them. So 8 minutes, 30 seconds on the board. And we don't get channel points here because this is VRML channel 2. So no channel points, no subscribers, and none of that good stuff. That's all reserved for channel 1. But you can just type in channel points and I'll act as if you had them. And I won't discriminate. So getting that pass into the bubble, Ragnar Lothbrok is going to take it in at 3 meters. So I think it's just easy for VRML to maintain everything on channel 1. If you just type drink water at this point, I'll just drink the water. This is a 3v3. So with Joust, advantage is now exarea. Getting that initial pressure will be Ronins, forcing that error on that first pass. Picking up on the floor will be Spathia. Spathia trying to find that pass in the tube. Stealing a grab will be Ragnar. So Ragnar now with possession, getting those jukes on point, able to avoid that defender. Another defender, he's going to juke out of the way. He's going to try and find that pass. That one's going to bounce off the Geo. Goalie's going to be able to find it, so Cameron Boss going to find it. Go for that clear to be intercepted. Ragnar's going to send it right in at 15 meters, so that's 7-point advantage to Ronins. Drink water, you know, I'll take it.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Local caster is forced to chug 6 bottles of water. Dies by water poisoning. So it will bounce off the tube. And that clear will come through. Now Ronins is looking at it in the bubble. Gonna hit their head off. One of the players is gonna hit their head off the Geo, not to be able to get it. So that backline player, Ragnar, is gonna find it. They got positioning in this bubble. Going off the backboard, but Spathia will shut down that shot. And that clear will come through. A few stuns on that stack. Getting forward. Advantage seems to be Ronins. Another stun will come through. Spathia won't be able to touch that one. So Ragnar now with it at tube, trying to juke on these blocks on the Geo, creating a lot of space, sending it up to the ceiling into the hands of the Legend. Legend now down to the floor. The JBL making that drive to the goal, and he's gonna find 2 points, so 9 points on the board now. The most hydrated man on the planet. Well, I mean, that's better than being the thirstiest man on the planet, so I'll take it. So 6 minutes on the clock and ticking. And with possession now will be Cameron. Cameron throwing it off the wall. It's going to ricochet back. Maybe able to get that self pass. Not going to be able to find it, though. So the Legend now with it. And they're going to put that one in at 19 meters. Now 12-point advantage. I mean, Ricochet is an easy one. Like, I'm not Palador. Palador is the master of the word sneaks. That's why he put the word sneaks in. Because he's so good at that stuff. Me, I'm not a poet like Palador is. I try, but you made it easy for me on that one, Bacon. So I appreciate it. And picking it up will be Ragnar Lothbrok off that clear attempt from exarea. He's got 2 passes in front. He's going to avoid that defender. He's just going to take it right in off that stun on the goalie. So that's 2 points, 7 meters. 14 on the board now. So they did get a mercy 22-0 in the first round. And Palador literally turned my name into a pun twice in 2 weeks. Against your will. And Moonlit Jolteon redeemed... Okay. How do you do that? How do you color the text like that? So we'll be cleared down towards the Ronins bubble. exarea might have a chance here. They just have to get down court. But JBL will find it. And I'll sneak that pass right by him like a ninja. A little bit like I don't know, Shinobi? What, is Shinobi supposed to be a ninja? Like, finding that pass into the bubble and finding the shot will be the legend. See, this is where I don't know what I'm doing with these word sneaks. Oh, and Vacant Ace. Redeem cast my match 15 points. Well, what is it? What is Shinobi? I remember it was like a game back in the day. So it was like it's associated with ninjas for me. So 4 minutes on the clock. 16-point advantage to Ronins. I want Sput voice in 1080p. I think Twitch has the ability to stream audio in 320 kilobits per second. So maybe I can get Alocoste to pump up those audio levels. Getting behind the board, but not able to find it. But Legend picking that right up, looking really smooth. Now they're just going for steezy shots. JBL with that attempt on that spin. So Shinobi does mean ninja. Alright, so I remembered something correctly. I just didn't want to look uneducated, but looking educated right there is Ragnar Lothbrok finding that angle. Maybe a little bit of trigonometry for him. And he's going to find, oh, geometry. See, this is where my uneducation comes through. I'm like, you know, is that arithmetic? I don't even know. But finding the angle is Ragnar Lothbrok. So 18 points. They're looking for a mercy in the second round. Ronin's definitely looking to take it in 2. And ducking under that boosting stack, but throwing the interception will be a player from exarea. The clear will come through. And picked up off the walls, JBL. JBL setting up the nest. And that anchor shot, that one looked pretty wacky, but finding that one, well, I believe it was Ragnar Lothbrok. It definitely was at 8 meters, so that's 3 points. It's 21-0. So I definitely know what Ronin is. So Ronin is like a ninja, or no, Ronin was a samurai without a master. Oh, what is a cattywampus? Taking the shot like a cattywampus, just see what am I supposed to do with that one? I'm not Palador here. All props to Palador. I don't even know what a cattywampus is. Is that even a thing? So will be Ragnar Lothbrok finishing off 2 rounds, 18 points, 5 assists. JBL with 10 points, 4 assists. The Legend will find 15 points, 6 assists, and 1 steal. And 2 saves going to plug-in player, Cameron Boss and Spathia Galley. Cattywampus basically means things going pear-shaped. Why is that an adjective that was needed? Advanced sentence structure. Well, when I make noises go catty-wump, that's pretty advanced. But no, a good game for both these teams. So Ronins will play 3v3. exarea will not be able to find their 4th player. And there will be a little bit of an agreement between both teams. And in good faith, Ronins will play 3v3. Oh, so cattywampus means askew, Ari. Position diagonally, catty-cornered, cater-cornered. I definitely know askew. And I don't know if I'm saying Ari right or AWRY, but I know those words. At least I think I do. And ex-Moki Master saying, Palador, coach me. Well, you go message him. Awry. Oh, yeah, it's awry. Awry is the pronunciation. I need to drink some water. Oh, and Alocoste was running cam. So we've got another match. I don't know what time the match is. So we got next match is in 30 minutes. So we're gonna cut the stream instead of running it and then coming back. So I'm gonna take a sip of water. I'm gonna reflect. And with that being said, this has been Ronins versus exarea. Ronins is gonna take it in 2 in this 3v3, so a little bit of a throwback. I'm SputnikKobra. I've always been SputnikKobra. Sometimes I do forget who I am, and then I remember I'm SputnikKobra. And then we have Alocoste on camera. So Alocoste ran the production for today, and he's going to be back for the next 2 casts. So we will see you in 30 minutes for Dolphins versus Jinx, and then after Dolphins versus Jinx, we will have Elusive versus Shock. But until then, take care, be good to yourselves, and all that good stuff. This is a terrible send-off. I'll see you guys in 30 minutes.
Season 3 of VRML Echo Arena is brought to you by HyperX, Rebuff Reality, Asterion Products, ProTube VR, VR Cover, Fixed Gaming, and VRware.net.